You're watching NBC.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of The Ticket NBC. I'm Jason Roberts.
And I'm Christiane Bakker. We have a show out of this world for you today. Yes, we're lost in space with Joey from Friends.
I had a really good time.
We'll be discovering the special effects secrets of movies like Jurassic Park and Men in Black.
We now had to go, okay, we can do it. Now we got to do it like nobody's ever seen. We got to do it like we couldn't have done.
Come back, kid. Hazel O'Connor reveals why she's not crying over broken glass.
Marriage is over, anger. Friends has died, anger. Have I got a career or not, anger. Will anybody talk to me that used to talk to me, anger.
We'll be enthralled by the new show from the world-famous Moscow State Circus.
And there's our weekly guide to what's on in Europe. And we start with Lost in Space. You may well remember the adventures of the space-traveling Robinson family from the hit TV series of the 60s. That was all in black and white with rather rudimentary special effects.
But in fact, for many of the fans, that was its charm. But now Lost in Space is making a comeback as a Hollywood blockbuster. This time, William Hurt plays the father of the family, and Gary Oldman is the scheming Zachary Smith. Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
This is the beginning. This is the day.
That was then. This is now. "30 years after the original, the Robinson family are lost in space once more. And if you are going to update a classic series, who better to play the villain than Gary Oldman?
Give my regards to Oblivion.
Dr. Smith is the most faithful, I think, most faithful character to the original series. And I tip my hat a little to Jonathan Harris. There are little moments there that's a tiny little homage to what he created. I had a pretty good blueprint for this Dr. Smith. But I'm a little darker and a little more sinister than the one in the series.
The only person who wasn't happy was Jonathan Harris, the original Dr. Smith. Last year, he told us he had turned down an invitation to appear in the movie.
In Lost in Space, I play Smith or I don't play, because I'm totally proprietary about it. I feel that I own him. And I said, you've hired a lovely actor, Gary Oldman, to do him, and he will be fine. He will not be me, because I am me. But what he'll do will be wonderful, because he's a very good actor. And I said, there's nothing left for me to do in your movie, and I wish you well. I want you to be a very large hit. It'll be wonderful for me. And if, heaven forbid, it's not a very large hit, it'll still be wonderful for me. So what's my problem? I don't got one.
So this is a completely new cast, although most of the original stars do make cameo appearances. Remember this voice?
Warning, danger, that does not compute. Danger, Will Robinson. Launch.
The new robot may look a little different, but the voice is the same.
I've known the old cast for 35 years, and they're all friends of mine, and sure, I would like to see them all in the movie, of course. But I understand why they had to make certain changes, and I wouldn't have been surprised if I had been included in those certain changes. But that's the way it happens sometimes.
Joining him on board ship is Matt LeBlanc of Friends fame. Hopefully his character is a bit brighter than Joey, though.
I had a really good time. It's a big, huge departure from what I usually do on Friends every week. Much more volatile character and much more serious, much more focused guy. So it was a nice change.
LeBlanc gets to appear alongside Mimi Rogers, who plays Maureen Robinson, and the head of the family, played by one-time Oscar winner William Hurt. Not a star you'd expect to see doing a big commercial blockbuster.
I really like the idea a lot, and I like the subjects that it raises. I like the fact that it is for a young audience, and hopefully the way you present these issues isn't going to, harm them, isn't going to, take the hope away from them, but that it is going to bring the subjects up.
For fans of the original, the rest of the new family are Jack Johnson, who plays Little Will, Lacey Chabert is Penny, and Heather Graham, who plays Judy.
I think that the women's roles are more modern in this movie, and there's sort of yet more to do, and they're more intelligent and stronger.
So who did the producers turn to remake this American TV classic? A British director, of course.
When I was in England in the early 70s, I remember watching on telly when it came to us, and it made me... I wanted to be with that groovy family, and they were so glamorous. They had such a great time. They all liked each other, and they had monsters and groovy monsters to meet. It was much more fun than my life in South London. So
he's updated the family, made the villain a bit nastier, and then packed the film with state-of-the-art special effects. And it was all shot at London's Shepperton Studios.
I was just smart enough to go for really good actors. I went for Gary. We're the same age. We're from the same part of town. We have similar backgrounds, and and we had sort of similar memories of that whole period of life. And once I had him, I was going for William Hurt, I was going for all these great actors. They're all eccentric, they're all cool. They made the film better, I needed them to kind of go to war with all the visual effects.
And if Stephen himself was lost in space, what would he take with him?
I'd have the woman I love, and I'd have all my friends I could, and my daughter.
Who's the woman you love?
Heather and I together.
Oh, you really? So was that after the movie or before the movie? During the movie.
Stupid, open my mouth.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger!
It looks like fun. And Lost in Space will be arriving in Europe later this year. It seems with Godzilla and Deep Impact also due out this summer, we're going to have a sci-fi packed year.
Yep, keeps some people happy. All right, moving on now. Let's take a look at what news is making entertainment headlines. A UK newspaper has revealed that Eric Clapton's half-brother is a heroin addict who once worshipped the rock star, even though he didn't know they were related. Edward Fryer Jr., who had early success as a musician himself, has dropped out to live on the streets somewhere in Canada. Last week, the paper revealed that Clapton also had two half-sisters by a father he never met, a Canadian soldier called Edward Fryer.
Despite Titanic movie mania, the Sotheby's auction of memorabilia associated with the real-life liner has held a few disappointments. At the sale held in London yesterday, two Titanic postcards fetched $4,000 and $3,900 respectively, and the model of the doomed ship went for $600. But a collection of Titanic telegrams and 3 playing cards bearing the White Star Line insignia failed to reach their reserve price and remain unsold. Sotheby's, though, declined to tell the tickets whether the King of the World, James Cameron, had bid for any of the items.
Peter Fonda, nominated for Best Actor for Ulysse Gold, says he's been inspired by his daughter Bridget. The Easy Rider star says her professionalism and brilliant performances encouraged him to go up a gear. At the Academy Awards, Fonda lost to his old chum Jack Nicholson in As Good As It Gets. But Peter says it was just wonderful for them to be nominated together.
And now to Tinseltown. Stan Winston Studios is one of the leading visual effects companies in Hollywood, where some of cinema's scariest creature creations have been born, most recently in Steven Spielberg's Lost World.
Well, the ticket met Stan in Los Angeles and had a chat with him about the art of special effects and his latest challenge, working with the man who gave us Titanic. To make dinosaurs rule the world, to make a monster sequel to a monster hit, you need dedication, ingenuity, and Steven Spielberg. But if you're a special effects supremo, who has the final say, you or the great director?
Really, ultimately, the creative control starts with the guy upstairs, because our dinosaurs are not based on fantasy, they're based on fact, they're based on scientific fact. We did an enormous amount of research. We dealt with paleontologists so that our dinosaurs would, in fact, be paleontologically correct.
Hang on to something! Hang on to something!
Jurassic Park was our watershed. Jurassic Park let us know that we could do it. Now, with Lost World, we now had to go, okay, we can do it. Now we got to do it like nobody's ever seen. We got to do it like we couldn't have done in Jurassic Park.
And that meant bigger, better, more scary monsters. A T-Rex weighing 9 tons and capable of ripping a car apart for real, without the help of cunning computer graphics. Stan says the secret of his success is that he originally came from an acting background, so he sees his creations more as characters than technological tricks.
I walk around the studio on a daily basis, and I see all the people working with me, and I'm virtually going, whoa, that's real neat, how'd you do that? And that's cool, do some more of that. My expertise has to do with my instincts when it comes to what looks neat, what acts neat, what's a cool character. And then I relied very heavily on the artists and the technicians that work here in the studio.
They're pushing us over the cliff.
Steven Spielberg's not the only top director Winston's worked with. Stan is also part of Digital Domain, a special effects company which he founded with the movie man of the moment. Stan and King of the World James Cameron have worked together on both the Terminator films and Aliens. Digital Domain won the Oscar for Best Visual Effects when Stan's hat was also in the ring for The Lost World. But he isn't bothered that he lost out to an old chum.
I was so thrilled to be at the Oscars with Jim that the most exciting thing about my Oscar nomination for Lost World was to be there with Jim and share in this, wonderful evening of glory for Titanic.
Come on!
Stan resents recent press suggestions that he and Cameron have made a packet out of their work on the aquatic blockbuster. He says great movies may cost a lot of money, but profit is not the motive. We are artists, after all.
The first heaven and the first earth had passed away.
Jim Cameron didn't make Titanic for how much money he was going to make. Jim Cameron made Titanic because Jim Cameron really wanted to make this movie. It came from his heart. He was passionate about it, and it shows, and that's why it's so wonderful. And all of the stuff that came from Digital Domain that's on screen has to do with artistic passion of all the people that were involved.
Stan describes himself as the luckiest man in the world, having worked with two of the biggest movie directors of our time. So if he gets the phone call about the sequel to the sequel of Jurassic Park, would he team up with Mr. Spielberg again?
I'm in awe of him. He's like a god. And if Steven wants me to do something, I'm going to do it. And if Steven is involved and wants to do another Jurassic Park, produce it, make it happen, whatever, of course I would do it.
So that's how they do it. There are no dinosaurs after all. They're all made by Stan. Anyway, with that, we've come to the end of part one.
And there I was thinking that they existed all along. Damn! Do join us again after the break. This is what's on the menu for your second helping of the Ticket NBC. From stardom to oblivion and back again, singer and actress Hazel O'Connor speaks candidly to the Ticket.
They have less cash, but they're still making a splash. We're on the road with the world-famous Moscow State Circus.
And we'll be bringing you our recommendations to the best events happening across Europe this week.
Coming up at 2000 on NBC, Dateline NBC.
A violent crime.
What was going through your mind is your brother was beating the tar out of you.
A girl is beaten, robbed and raped in a hotel room.
Everything that I could buy with the money when we settled from the lawsuit.
The truth of this story will shock you. Step inside a strange society and meet people who will go to extreme measures for money. What can be done to stop them? Dateline NBC, tonight at 2000 CET, 1900 UK on NBC.
NHL Power Week. Catch up with all the news, results and action from the fiercest ice hockey league in the world. The biggest teams, the greatest players, in the fastest game on ice. NHL Power Week. Tonight at 2100 CET, 2000 UK.
Hello, I'm Katrina Skepper. On VIP tomorrow, Jaimin Hansu from Steven Spielberg's movie Amistad. Also, chart topper Will Mellor will be performing and chatting with me. See you then.
VIP tomorrow at 1830 CET, 1730 UK on NBC.
3 miles from the Italian shore, deep in the ocean bed, lies a sunken freighter with deadly cargo. The chemicals it carries attack the nervous system, causing delirium, insanity and death. While countries argue over who must take responsibility, the ship remains untouched, a deadly time bomb waiting to go off. Captain Jacques Cousteau examines the evidence in Classic Cousteau, Saturday at 1800 CET, 1700 UK on NBC.
NBC's Saturday night mystery, Mancuso FBI, a suspect package.
A bomber on the loose in Washington. Don't tell me what the target is.
And a Russian general.
Mancuso FBI. Grigori Silianka, KGB.
A Georgian patriot is the #1 suspect. But what is the target?
Don't move!
Mancuso FBI, this Saturday at 2300 CET, 2200 UK on NBC.
Jay Leno is on the road again. In May, he'll be in Chicago for a week, and The Tonight Show and Nokia present a fantastic new opportunity to win a trip to join him in Chicago. All you have to do is tell us the name of Chicago's basketball team. Is it the Chicago Bulls, Bears, or Cubs? First prize is a week for two in Chicago, including tickets for The Tonight Show. Second prize is a weekend for two in London and a pair of tickets for the award-winning musical, Chicago. And the third prize winner receives the new Nokia 6110, the mobile phone that's the perfect package. Contact us by phone on 117-976-7823, fax 117-909-1243, email jleno@compnbc.co.uk or via our website www.nbceurope.com. For a chance to spend time in the Windy City on the road with Jay Leno, enter the Tonight Show Nokia Chicago competition now.
Welcome back to the Ticket NBC. Coming up later, we're off to the circus, and there's a roundup of what's on in Europe this week. But first, to singer and actress Hazel O'Connor, who's returning to the limelight after a short break. Well, not that short. Try 15 years.
Perhaps best remembered for her role in the cult movie Breaking Glass, she's now back on the music scene with a new single. But in between, her career and private life haven't been without their ups and downs, as the Ticket found out when we chatted to her recently in London. She was one of the biggest names of the 80s pop music scene, with a string of top 20 singles, a hit movie, and a distinctive look that kept her on the cover of every magazine. Hazel O'Connor seemed to have it all. But then everything went horribly wrong.
You know, I wasn't at all protected in my early days, and I got really freaked out by it all, and I took everything to heart.
Certainly, the past 15 years have had their ups and downs. She's been struggling to be taken seriously as an actress and musician. Her marriage has disintegrated, and one of her best friends died. While other people wouldn't be able to cope with all that, Hazel has come out fighting.
I took up karate when I was in the height of my marriage is over anger, friends has died anger, have I got a career or not anger, will anybody talk to me that used to talk to me anger. And I do loads of karate now. I train about 4 times a week.
While at the top, Hazel had the world at her feet. But when times got tough, she found her so-called celebrity friends were nowhere to be seen. She especially took to heart the fact that she got snubbed at the 1984 Live Aid concert.
I don't hold grudges anymore. I did for quite a long time. Because I had some very close friends, you know, pals of mine would have been Paula Yates and Bob Geldof, and in the old days I used to go out with Midge Ure, so the first reality check I think was when Live Aid was put together and I wasn't going out with Midge anymore, so I wasn't even invited to the show or anything, or let alone invited to, you know, be of any service to the project and sing or be of service.
Today, she's older and wiser and puts everything she's been through down to good experience.
I'd usually have a good idea up my sleeve because that's the kind of person I am. You know, I've been on I left home when I was 16, so I'm a survivor.
Perhaps the lasting appeal of Hazel O'Connor is just when her worst critics are prepared to write her off, Hazel bounces back, usually on the stage.
I put a play on here myself just before I went to live in America in I think it was 1988, when Charlie Hanson was running the Black Theatre Co-op from Hammersmith Studios. And he ended up directing the thing for me because I really didn't know what I was doing. I'd written a little playlet that was a musical. And we sold it out for 4 days or something at this place.
Then I'm singing, reach, reach, oh, I'm reaching out.
As well as having success on the stage, her new album, 5 in the Morning, has been well received by music critics.
If I write songs, then they're, you know, my babies. And that, I can't switch off from them.
And Hazel also told us she is currently in negotiations to make a Hollywood sequel to Breaking Glass. We shall keep you posted.
We certainly will do. Good luck to Hazel. Her new single, Na Na Na, is released in Europe this month.
What an inspired title, hey?
There you go. Moving on, there have been mixed fortunes too for the Moscow State Circus since its pre-Glasnost heyday. But now the circus is back with a new show that organisers guarantee will surprise you again and again. Long before the Cirque du Soleil, the Moscow State Circus wowed audiences with breathtaking stunts, stunning costumes and performing animals. It was the acceptable side of communism, exported all over the world.
Of course, the Moscow State Circus became great because of communism. It wouldn't have existed without it. I think the great thing probably the artists had under communism, because they were paid working or not, was time, because that bought them time. And if a new script for a new act was approved, if the authorities said, yeah, that's great, go ahead and do it, they were given as much time as they needed to train, to have the equipment built, to have it choreographed, and they were given every facility, a building to work in whenever they needed it, technicians to help them, people to build the props. And so money was no object.
But that's all changed now. With no funds coming from Russia, the Moscow State Circus is having to face up to some very tough challenges.
Some artists are leaving the circus as well because there isn't the work for them. And the best are going abroad, indeed, to put this show together. Whereas last time we produced the Moscow State Circus, we went to Russia and chose the artists. This time, I think there's one act that's come direct from Russia.
But when the circus is in your blood, you don't give up that easily.
We didn't want to let it go. Last time we thought would be the last time. This time we've been able to carry it on. So here we are, still within Europe, presenting this wonderful circus, the finest there is. We intend to carry on doing it for as long as we can.
And don't imagine morale has been dented by the mixed fortunes of life in the Moscow State Circus.
Ultimately, what brings you together, as with any group of performers, is the performance. And the centre of that circus ring in there is, in that sense, the centre of our world.
Though one thing you won't see in this show are performing animals.
I don't object to the change in public taste because that's a natural thing, and I'm sure the promoters will respond to it. But I do object to the political movement, which is based on the animal rights philosophy. As a matter of taste, it's fine, but we shouldn't be forced to leave them out, and the public shouldn't be forced to accept a circus with no animals or no circus at all. That's not right.
But then, at the end of the day, it's the two-legged performers who have the most fun at the circus, and that keeps audiences coming back time after time. Always amazing. If you want to see more of the Moscow State Circus, they will be in London over the Easter weekend.
All right, staying with suggestions for things to do, let's take a look at what other events are happening in Europe this week. Rotterdam plays host to the Super Insect Show, an exhibition that looks at the wonderful world of insects with real and 600 times scale robotic models that make even alien look lovable. So if you fancy coming face to face with some of these creepy crawly creatures, you can visit Rotterdam's Kunsthalle Museum till May the 3rd.
The Groningen Museum presents Acquisitions, a new collection of visual arts, photography, fashion and design. One recent acquisition is this bulletproof elephant costume, a case of preservation meets conservation. Meanwhile, photographer Reneke Dijkstra introduces portraits of bullfighters. Larry Clark portrays the violent and often desperate lives of his friends, and fashion photography is represented by the work of hip photographers Ines van Lamsweerde and Vinod Matadin.
A major exhibition on August Macke, one of the main components of the German expressionist group, the Blue Rider, has just opened at the Thyssen-Bornemisza Museum in Madrid. Highly influenced by French post-impressionism, Fauvism, and both Picasso and Braque's analytical cubism, Macke was fascinated by pure color and its relation with musical values. The August Macke exhibition is very well worth a visit in Madrid till May the 31st.
50 rarely exhibited icons made in Moscow from the 15th to the 17th century are the focus of the Art of Holy Russia. The exhibition shows the different styles, subjects and ambitions of the Tsars, and the unique synthesis of Renaissance ideas with traditional Byzantine and Russian forms. The Art of Holy Russia is at London's Royal Academy of Arts till June the 14th. There you go, plenty of cultural suggestions to keep you busy this weekend.
Absolutely, and that's it for today's show, but we shall be back tomorrow with these tasty delights.
Guaranteed to make your mouth water, Copenhagen's best-kept secrets, Pierre-Andre, serves up a delicious dish.
We're like a little family. We can't do something nice if we don't feel good every day. So people who work there have to be happy to go to work every day. And one day, if we don't feel like that anymore, we will stop.
We visit France's oldest restaurant, La Tour d'Argent, where our fearless ticket reporter explores the biggest wine cellar in the world.
There's more. There's always more. When you think it's finished, we can always find some more. And yet more wine, and yet more wine, yet more. And still more wine, and even more, even on top.
Something certainly smells fishy. We sample herring in Sweden.
You can see all the yeast particles, and then if this was smelling TV, you would die.
We're off on a big night out in Berlin.
There are very lot of places who are so wow, honey.
And to recover from all that, we'll be bringing you the ultimate day out at a British country house retreat.
Looks like another delicious menu on the Ticket NBC.
Yep, wrap your tongue around that. We will see you tomorrow. Until then, I'm Jason Roberts.
And I'm Christiana Macker. See you then. Bye-bye.
In Sweden, it's NBC.
Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time ago. Where have all the flowers gone? Young girls pick them, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the young girls gone? Long time ago. Where have all the young girls gone? Gone to young men, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn?
United Artists presents the ultimate battle between good and evil.
And the next time there are rioters, shoot them.
He and the king are identical.
My twin, my blood, fact which has kept him alive until now.
In the tradition of great adventure, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jeremy Irons, John Malkovich, Gerard Depardieu, Gabriel Byrne.
Until you die in it!
The Man in the Iron Mask.
Get ready for an evening of unmissable entertainment. NBC's must-see TV Saturday at 1900, National Geographic Television, and a journey with the shark trackers.
They're just beautiful to watch. They're elemental in their simplicity, but fascinating in their complexity.
School's in for Mr. Rhodes at 2000.
So Tom, you wrote a play.
Why don't we do your play for our fall production? I smell a hit.
That's not what I smell.
It's business as usual in Union Square at 2030.
You look familiar.
Yeah, so do you. My car got stolen a couple years ago.
That's where I know her from. I stole a car.
At 2100, Sam Waters is back on the trail of terror in Profiler. And at 2200, The Tonight Show with Jay Leno pumps up the star power with the very best in comedy, music and chat. That's the lineup for an unmissable must-see TV Saturday on NBC.
Conan, Gwyneth Paltrow before the surgery, plus Edward Burns and boxer Lennox Lewis. It's a late night you cannot miss.
Late Night with Conan O'Brien, tonight at 2300 CET on NBC.